AEW is running a show in Mexico this Wednesday. What are we going to do? Oh, I know. Let's also run a show in Mexico. Come on, dude. Oh, wait. I'm not stopping there. Because WWE is running Saturday night's main event the same damn day as
All In.
And at All In, we're getting Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. We're getting Hangman Adam Page versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. We're getting Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega for the newly minted Unified Championship. And WWE goes, what match should we do? Oh, I know. Goldberg versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Yay! Really, WWE? Like, what you expect? I'm sorry, I'm not calling him Goldberg. You expect Oldberg versus Gunther to attract fans away from Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada or Hangman versus Jon Moxley? No.
Well, technically, I don't think they're going head-to-head. I think All In will be over before Saturday night's main event because All In starts at 3, right?
Yeah, but knowing AEW, the pay-per-view is going to end up going 4 or 5 hours.
Well, yeah, it'll go to about 8, but I don't think that they're going to go a full 5 hours. I mean, are they really that crazy? Have they seen the people tune out after the last 2 weeks of Dynamite because nobody wants to watch a 4-hour wrestling program on a Wednesday night?
I mean, they've been doing really well. The shows have been phenomenal.
They have, but why do you think WWE moved WrestleMania to 2 nights? Why do you think they're moving SummerSlam to 2 nights? And why do you think the Royal Rumble is going to be 2 nights? It's not just to make more money. It's also because the fans, if you remember WrestleMania 35, they were falling asleep. And I don't care if AEW puts on the greatest show since sliced bread. You've been there 4 or 5 hours, even if you're at a football game, a basketball game, baseball game, 3.5 hours, you're ready to go home.
Yeah, generally AEW splits Dynamite and Collision. They're like normally Dynamite runs on Wednesday and Collision runs on Saturday. But I think it's because of the Stanley Cup final being on TNT. They've had to move Collision to Wednesdays.
Yeah, I don't understand Warner. I think it's very strange. Well, they could just put AEW on TBS or they could put it on True TV. They have options, and instead they're like, no, we're just going to do a 4-hour programming block. Mostly because it's cheap programming. That's what I said to the benefit to AEW is it is cheap programming. That is a sport, and that's the only thing people are watching nowadays is for linear television and sports.
Yes. And my other big issue is WWE, like, they're running a Mexico show after AEW, but WWE is going to be closely paying attention to Wednesday's show in Mexico, and they're going to be like, oh, we can take that person for our AAA promotion. We can take that person for our AAA promotion. And you tell me WWE doesn't view AEW as a rival. Come on. Why do you think they took Ethan Page, the Lucha Brothers, Ricky Starks, Mariah May, who has now become Blake Monroe?
You know what? I want to see Tony fight back. Can Tony fight back?
Like, come on.
Is it a tweeting all day? Fight back, Tony. Do something about it.
I mean,
when WWE runs SummerSlam, do something with AEW.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, if Tony takes the competition seriously, he should fight back because that's what AEW was built on. We are the complete opposite of WWE. And, it's been a lot of back and forth, but I don't think the two companies now could never be as different as they are currently today.
Yeah, I agree. And I have gotten a little bit back into WWE. I've watched a couple episodes.
Wait, hold on. I do want to remind our viewers, after WrestleMania 41, what you said live on this show.
I did. You're right.
You were boycotting SmackDown. You were boycotting Raw. You were unfollowing everything on Twitter/X.
I know. I did go and watch Money in the Bank at a friend's house, and I'm like, okay. And in the recent weeks, I'm like, okay, I've heard some better things about WWE. Let me try again. And all I've seen on Monday Night Raw, by the way, best wishes to Liv Morgan.
Absolutely. That was horrific.
Yeah, which that was just on like a normal fall. It didn't look like anything.
No, yeah. No, I agree.
And I was kind of interested in her developing program with Nikki Bella. But like all I see with Raw in basically every match is distraction, interference. Like, only reserve that for Seth Rollins' group. Like, let him be the one that comes in.
I will say that has been more of a Triple H thing than a Vince thing. Like, that has been the pattern of Triple H's booking. But from what I heard from people, again, I never used to watch the Black and Gold era of NXT. It sounds like that he would book that way in NXT too. Like, that's his calling card, is interference.
And it's kind of frustrating because it's like, now I just expect it with every match. Like, nope, this match isn't going to end clean.
Well, I think one of the issues is everybody's in a faction, right? Almost theoretically, or has some sort of budding relationship. So it's like there almost is going to be interference because somebody's trying to save their buddy, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. And here's the other thing that I have an issue with. Like, you look at the tag team division on SmackDown. You got all these teams. You got Motor City Machine Guns. You got Street Profits. You got Johnny Gargano and
DIY. You've got you got the Wyatt Six now coming back. You got Pretty Deadly.
Bingo. And then you look at Raw tag team division. There's nothing.
Yeah, I know. And I said it at the time, they should have never disbanded the Undisputed Tag Team titles. I thought splitting up the tag team titles by brand is a bad thing. I think WWE has fallen into the AEW trap of we have too many titles.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And I told you last week, the AAA thing reminds me of AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling. The Worlds Collide thing, I think the whole thing is stupid. A casual fan like me does not give a rip about Lucha Libre AAA. Care about Rey Mysterio. I think Penta's awesome, but I don't care about the whole Lucha Libre promotion. I can care less. Two shits about.
Yeah, and then my other thing is like for me anyway, the most interesting part of Monday Night Raw is everything with the Women's Intercontinental Championship. You and I were talking about this last week. Like, the match I was most interested in going into Money in the Bank was Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for that title, because I thought that has been and continues to be, because I don't think Lyra's just going to vanish from it, the best story on Monday Night Raw. I'm loving that Bayley's now in the mix, and it feels like it's going in a triple threat direction. I'm loving that story. I'll give the Seth Rollins stuff some time. It's not quite working for me. But I do love the Naomi story over on SmackDown. So at least for me, the women's stories are more interesting than what's happening with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso and Seth Rollins. And trust me, I get Cena and Punk, and it's good, but for me, it's not like everything with Becky, Lyra, Bayley, and
I don't know if you listen to Jim Cornette at all, but Brian Last, his co-host on that show, was saying the same thing you were saying of the women's division. Really quickly before we get out of here, I'm going to defend Raw quickly, not so much SmackDown, because I agree with you. SmackDown's not been a very good show outside of the Naomi thing as of late. But I'm going to defend the whole Rollins, even the Gunther, Jey Uso, Sammy, everybody involved. it does connect from the start of the show to the end of the show. And everything does feel like it has a story and it's moving throughout the show. And you are going to get this payoff now where you do get Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso. I think we are going to get Cody versus Randy Orton in the King of the Ring finals and not the direction we both thought.
I
okay,
don't.
You don't. Are you still sticking with Sami Zayn then?
Here's what I think is going to happen. Sami Zayn is going to win the tournament. He will challenge Gunther for the title at SummerSlam. Sami beats Gunther, and that's when Seth Rollins cashes in. And because remember, we had all those promos between Seth and Sami. I think that's what it's leading to is Sami wins the title from Gunther like he did at WrestleMania with the Intercontinental. And then Seth comes out, ruins the moment by cashing in. And then I think they will build back up to that story at WrestleMania.
I was with you on that. And I think that still could be a possibility until Cody has now recently gotten involved in Seth Rollins' business. Now I think it's going to be Cody the one winning King of the Ring. I still think Cody takes the title of Cena, but I actually think Rollins cashes in on Cody right after SummerSlam. Because that will be Rollins has never beaten Cody Rhodes. We know that in storyline. Well, now he would and win the world title from him.
Yeah, which we've talked about this. Cody was an okay WWE champion, not as good as I thought he was going to be.
He's so much better as a babyface chasing. This is the Cody I like. The more aggressive Cody, the no bullshit Cody. Not the, hey guys, what do you want to talk about? I need to finish my story. This is the Cody that I like. That's why I was in favor of turning Cody heel. I thought that was the direction that they were going to go once CM Punk did that talking to him. I thought Cody was going to go into this deep depression, and maybe he still does after Seth Rollins curb stomps his head in at SummerSlam. But that's what I'm talking about is I can see both of their scenarios. I can see yours totally, but I can also see mine, which is why I am fascinated by the direction because I don't know which way it's going.
Yeah, which like I said, it's not that I dislike the Seth Rollins stuff, but for me, I'm just loving the Intercontinental stuff with Becky, Lyra, and Bayley, and I find the Naomi stuff fascinating. I told you when she went heel and has this new caution gimmick, she needs to take this all the way to the World Championship. I told you.
You were absolutely right on that.